elevations.
Yeah.
Because now, like if you do it in Denver, your water's boiling at 185 degrees, which would take significantly more time to make sure you killed bacteria. So good thing you didn't decide to water bath can today, because we'd be here until halfway through the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It'd be the halftime show when I finish up. Considering the Super Bowl doesn't start for another so we're looking at 4 hours and 6 hours and 15 minutes. Starts at 4:30 my time, and it's 10:15 right now. All right, Tammy tapped on it, and here she is.
There she is.
I didn't see that you sent me the link. Sorry.
Yeah, neither did I until he said something.
Yeah.
Well, I was waiting for it to go on, and it didn't go on. It didn't go on, and then I looked at my phone, and it had somehow it had an error, and it wasn't live streaming. So then when I realized that, I came in.
Yeah, let me see what this says here. See if I get a different the temperature reading on the outside here. See what it says here. Yeah, because the interesting. It jumps when I get to the steam on the canner here.
Right, because of the shadow.
It jumps up like 15 degrees. Then when I'm pointing it at the rest of the can, because the rest of the can is so shiny, right on there it's not shiny on the steam.
Plus, there might be a tiny bit of steam coming out of there to make it read higher too.
Yeah. Yeah, this gasket has been used. This is the second time this gasket's been used. I replaced the gasket when I did the cowboy beef stuff.
Yeah.
And that, let me go over here. That was this thing here, these pints. Did that November 23. Did 13 of these pints. They're actually inside the. I have their original box, curved box that they were in. Wide mouth jars, so pint jars. So I'm not sure. Does that say? It doesn't say freezer on, or does it? Hang on, let me look at that box. Those may be freezer jars. Nope, doesn't say freezer on it. But those jars are like heavier than the quart jars I'm using now.
And Mother Earth wants to know what you do with the with that recipe of meat you got in there.
All right, so for the meat I used in here is 10 pounds into that crock pot back there. Let me.
Yeah, what do you use it for?
Oh, what do I use it? Oh, what do I use it for? Well, this is taco meat. Basically, it's going to be a taco meat, and it's most likely not going to get used for tacos. It's going to be used for burritos, burrito filling. The boys, Danny, Aiden, and Oliver, just want me to scoop it up into one of the bowls here. They use this size bowl, and they just scoop it up in there. And they can sit there and eat it while they're watching. They eat it while they're, I was frozen there for a second. They eat it while they're watching Smurfs, Paw Patrol, whatever it is they're watching, and they just sit there and eat it.
You can mix it with some cheese sauce and have a great carne nacho dip.
Well, I get the big, massive bricks of Tillamook cheese,
right?
And I sliced. And the last time they had it a couple days ago, I sliced it thin, And as I was reheating it out of the my other containers, and
Are you streaming, Tammy?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
so I use these containers here. But then on these, and I keep it in the fridge when I just do small batches of it. And so I'll scoop it out, heat it in the microwave, and then I'll put a slice of cheese on it and put it in for another 15 seconds or so to finish melting the cheese. And it's gone.
That's what we do. We love queso. Love queso.
Yeah, I'll mix taco meat and cheese sauce and a little bit of Rotel spicy all together. Great in the crock pot for nacho dip.
Now, for my boys who are now, get the ages right here. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, the youngest one will be 25 this year, and the older one is 20. Will be 28. For the taco meat, we will then add to 1 pound of taco meat. We will add 2 cups of instant rice and cook that up. And then they will put shredded cheese on that, and that's sort of like an imitation hamburger helper crunch cheesy enchilada. But we'll add for a pound of the mix. We'll also add a can of diced tomatoes to it. And they just absolutely love that stuff. Okay, we're up to temperature. Let me look at temperature here.
Almost
We're at it's sitting right on 15 right now.
All right, well, as soon as it gets a little bit above 15, start turning your temperature down on the stove just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't drop below 12.
Yeah.
Actually, you're almost at 16 now, so turn that down a little bit.
Yeah. Trying to remember where it was the last time I did it.
I found the perfect setting on my gas stove in the kitchen. That'll hold it. Don't play with that.
I was just saying it was stuck. It wasn't wiggling at all. Now it's wiggling a little bit. There we go. Pressure is still 15 and a half.
Yep. Just turn it down. Let it come back down slowly. 15 won't kill it.
Yeah.
But you can't shorten your time by doing that.
No. Yeah. My wife started making when the boys started eating, and when my daughter was still at home too, before she went off to college, we were eating so much Hamburger Helper. And all of a sudden, the prices jumped on Hamburger Helper. So guess what my wife started doing?
Make your own.
She started figuring out recipe, finding the recipes, the cheater recipes to make it, or imitation recipes and making it. And she found out the boys just like it with, instead of all the stuff that's in the cheesy enchilada, just to make it like taco meat. And so she made her own taco mix. For quite a while, and then the price on the taco seasoning, the McCormick came back down, so she just started buying a bunch of that, and so she just mixes it with that now. So that's what I did, because I asked her, what's the recipe for you make it? She goes, I gave up making it because the price came down and the cost of all the ingredients just about balanced out the same. So
I make my own Hamburger Helper. I mean, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And whatever noodles I want. I've done Hamburger Help my own with like shells, ziti, all that, and then I just add the cheese and all my flavorings, just the way I like it. I mean, Hamburger Helper's great. out of a box. But
I make my own hamburger helper. We like the cheeseburger mac and the cheesy enchilada are our two favorites.
yeah, with cheeseburger mac is our only. That's pretty much the only one we like.
And then I still make my own taco seasoning, but I go to the Amish store and buy the spices in bulk, so it's a lot cheaper for me to do it still,
Oh, yeah.
even after the prices came down with the taco seasoning. I can
I'm-
go to Gordon Foods and get like a pint of the taco seasoning, but I can still make it cheaper if I get the spices in bulk.
Oh yeah, I make my own rice-a-roni. I mean, I just take a pack of vermicelli, put it in the Ziploc bag, and just smash the crap out of it. So I got little short pieces, medium pieces. Throw my rice, throw it all in a pot like I did before with butter, and until the vermicelli starts to brown. Add my water, and then whatever. Usually my water is chicken broth, parsley, some salt, and a couple other flavors. I think I have like a pinch of turmeric in mine. You can't really taste it, but it changes its flavor, and you can't really smell it. And a couple other things, because they won't tell you what's on the season packet. They just said, seasonings. And it's mostly sodium and all kinds of other things in there.
90% MSG, which is
Yeah.
not good for you. That's why I make my own.
Yep. And I'll throw in, so I'll make my rice-a-roni. I'll actually dice up chicken breast pieces, throw them in the pan while I'm browning everything else. And then when I add my water, I throw a can of corn in there. So it's a whole meal ready to go. It's got the chicken, the corn, and the rice, and the noodles, and yeah.
Okay, so my last adjustment, it was up to 16 and a quarter, and Jiggler was starting to do stuff. I did another adjustment, and it now seems to be riding at 15 and a half.
Yeah, take it down a tiny bit more.
The jiggler and the dial are going to be off by 1 degree every time.
Yeah.
So your
Go by the
dial, your jiggler, if you have the 15-pound weight on, your jiggler probably will not jiggle until it gets past that, which is at 16 on your dial.
Yeah. All right, turn it down a little bit more. This floor in this kitchen is basically, when I walked it, it was jiggling the jiggler. It's enough to make it shake once I got it free. So this is the McCormick's taco seasoning original that I use, and I used. Let's see if I can get it right so you can see the container. How much I used out of it? It's almost half of the container for 10 pounds.
And that's got some kind of a thickener starch in there too, doesn't it, to give it like that pastiness?
Okay. Spices, including chili pepper, paprika, oregano, and then it says onion, salt, potato starch.
There it is.
Sugar, garlic, and citric acid.
Yeah, the potato starch just gives it that slight thickness, so it's not just watery taco meat. It makes it all stick together, which is, if it's potato starch, it's good, as long as it's good potato starch.
Yeah. And
Tammy knows lots about potato starch. She has lots of it settled in the bottom of those hundreds of jars she has.
Yes, I do. I could probably do a potato starch factory if I had a freeze dryer right now.
All right, some other this is the spice I put in here this time. Sometimes I'll play around with it if I'm doing a couple, 1 or 2 pounds, and I'm actually using the cast iron frying pan, which are, hang on. So I got 3 cast iron frying pans, and that big one is a 24-inch pan.
Nice.
Those other 2 inside of it are 18-inch pans. Yes, hang on, let's put this. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
There we go. So that's sitting right on 15 now.
Yep. You can take it down a tiny bit. Just do a tiny bit at a time. When it starts to get near 12, like 13, that's when you turn it back. If it's still continually going down slowly, just turn it up a tiny bit so it starts to stabilize.
That touch may drop it down to 14 or 13. I may need to touch it back up. But yeah, so on this the McCormick stuff on Amazon, it's actually cheaper for this container on Amazon than it is, a couple bucks cheaper than it is at Walmart.
Yeah. Hey, Mother Earth, you're asking what spice do you use? Is that for homemade hamburger helper or for taco meat?
Yeah.
Probably for hamburger helper.
No, I wouldn't be putting the taco meat in, I mean the cheese into the taco meat now.
No, you can, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It would probably burn it.
Okay. That was weird. Thought I heard a little kink of a lid, flexing. The where was I going? Oh, so because it's cheaper than at Walmart, it's a couple of bucks cheaper than Walmart. I went ahead and got on the subscribe thing for it's go over to that camera. I got on the subscribes for subscription on it and ordered it so I get one of these every month. And I got 40 pounds of frozen meat in the one freezer. So that's going to take a couple months worth of taco meat. And since the boys love taco meat so much for anything else, and I even sprinkle it on when I'm doing pork chops. I'll sprinkle a little bit on there along with the roasted garlic seasoning on the pork chops and stuff. But yeah, I figure if I wind up, if I go for a year and I got 12 of these, I'm going to use several of them just on canning the meat there. And if I keep on getting the meat on discount at either Sam's or the Chef's store, I'll probably can 20 or 30 things of ground beef this year, hopefully.
If you
And
take some of that taco seasoning, put a couple teaspoons in some sour cream, you can make some really good potato chip dip if you're into that.
I'm not into sour cream. My wife is. My daughter is. My youngest son is.
That's a good idea for chip dip, but while you're doing those logs of meat, it probably takes almost an entire one of those things of spices for each log of meat, doesn't it?
No,
Take half.
it takes half.
Okay.
Because this was full, and now it's down to just a little bit over half. But I should have, because this says for per pound of ground beef you use 3 tablespoons. I should have used 4.
Yeah, I always use a little bit more. We like it a little spicier. It sucks up so much of it.
And
you can get the big, like it looks like a gallon size container for the restaurants and that. You can get the gallon size. That's probably a little bit cheaper, but I think Tammy making her own is probably the cheapest bet.
this was the one I found because I went to the Chef's store. I went to which is U.S. Foods, and I went to what's the other one that's out there?
Gordon.
No, the delivery ones, suppliers.
Restaurant Depot or Webstaurant store.
But I see the truckers go around to all the restaurants and stuff.
Cisco.
Yeah, Cisco. I started going through them. I started backdooring them, pretending I was a restaurant. And this is cheaper. This was a lot cheaper than getting the 5-gallon bucket of it. So I think each one of these is individually sealed, so I don't open it till I need to use it.
Yeah, even the Spanish restaurants that I deal with, and I deal with a lot of them. Well, hopefully I'll continue dealing with them after what's coming. But they don't use taco seasoning. They have all their spices and stuff in big containers, some 5-gallon buckets, and that's what they use. They measure it out with cups.
Yeah.
We have a Hispanic ethnic food store, and they actually have all the dried chilies. You can buy it one chili or a dozen off the like
The
hanging,
spring. Yep.
and you grind. A lot of people around here grind their own chilies. Even they don't even buy the chili powder.
Just throw it in your spice grinder with all your stuff, and just leave the lid shut for about 5 minutes after it runs so you don't die.
Or do it outside in the summer.
Yes, with a fan
Don't do
blowing
it
on you.
inside.
Right now, I'm sitting at 13 3/4 pounds.
All right. Well, if it's going to sit there, you're probably fine. If it's just going to stabilize there, great. If it starts to continue to go down a tiny bit, just turn your heat up a teeny weeny bit just to hold it.
Yeah. I'll turn it up half a hair because I turned it down a hair this last time.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I also have done some bottom round roast with the taco seasoning in it, and it's pretty good.
See, if I pick up beef really cheap, which is rare, but every now and then I get lucky from like U.S. Foods. Yeah, I'll get whole eye rounds, and I'll trim them down to lean, very lean, and then I'll run them through my meat grinder, and then make 1 pound packages of like 97% lean ground beef and freeze it, or make burgers out of it for my wife, and because she likes her like super lean burgers, even though they're really dry, she likes them. Yeah, good idea.
Let's switch this around. There we go. Since you're not showing your face, when I put things up, I don't go it across Tammy's face.
Okay. It's just a raccoon talking, that's all.
Yeah. So yeah, this black box I was using, trying to show the backlight the steam. These are actually 18-ounce tumblers. Yeah, get it showing there. Yeah. And so yeah, these
it's like a milkshake cup.
Yeah, except it's only 18 ounces instead of 32 ounces. Of course, then I do have, if I can find them in this size, let me get in the cabinet here. These monstrosities are what we use to do our milkshakes and root beer floats in. I like to get these in this size in steel, so I get rid of all this plastic. Oh, but yeah. Right. Oh, Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy just put up a video. Oh, Ultimate Pet and Parent First Aid Kit. And Amy's doing that one. I'll have to save that and look at that one later. Let me take a look. Is that going down more?
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another cup of water with caffeine in it.
Yeah, it's dropped down a little bit more. Let me take it up a half a hair. There, up a half hair. Yeah, when I did that, those pints of baked beans and ground beef, once I had it set there, I never adjusted. After I got it adjusted, it went for the next hour and a half. I never touched it again.
Yeah, that's what is called finding the sweet spot on your stove. Once you know, like, you can kind of put a little permanent marker spot right there, dot, and you turn it to that, and it'll just be perfect. Once you know what that is.
Literally, when I just moved it, I barely moved it, like a 64th or a 128th of an inch. And that's when it dropped down too much. So I moved it back that much. So I think I'll take it back up to about 14 pounds, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as you're over that 12 pounds on your dial, you'll be fine.
Yeah. But this is what I'm going to have to do is let me pull this other one out here. Move stuff around here. This is an All-American 921 that was gifted to my wife from Wayne Ernstrom. His wife, Clarinita, passed away a few years ago. And he gave my wife boxes of canning jars and this. And
What a blessing.
you know, Wayne has moved to he moved to Utah where his sons are at. And so, you know, this thing here, yeah, I probably need to really, you know, scour it clean. Let me see, open this up here. Even around the, I need to clean on the top around the twist knobs here. Oh, come on. There we go.
Hey, Tammy. Is there a way I can download my own videos off of the Rebel Canner YouTube page that I put up like a long time ago for like changing the vents and the gauges and things? Is there a way I can download that, or do I have to like just sort of?
No, you can download them. You go in and there's those 3 little dots up at the top. It's just like when you're copying a picture. I think if you go in there, you can copy them.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I think I'd like to take those videos and put them on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Imagine that. Just thought about that.
So
Yeah,
this
and
has
then
2 of these inside of it here.
that's so you can double stack pints.
Yeah. The around the top here on the bevel, it feels there's some buildup on there.
Use some
cut out.
Use some quad O steel wool if it's that bad, just to smooth it with a little bit of hot soapy water, and you can smooth it down to get all the. If it's just grease buildup. I
would not do that until you ran it through with some water one time, because if
don't use a green scrubby.
Yeah, the lid will actually meld to the base, and that's what provides your seal. So you don't want to like do a lot of scrubby to it. I would test it out once.
Okay.
You may not need that.
Yeah, that's I was kind of worried about. I was wondering about that.
Nah, buildup is probably just because when you put your thin film of oil on there, and everybody puts it on like every single time. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, just a few times, just like every
4 or 5.
I haven't used it for a long time.
Spots that are thicker than others, but when I scrape it with my thumb, the thumbnail comes off. So I could probably just probably just use some Dawn and the yellow side of the sponge and scrub on it. There's some grittiness on this part right here. There's some grittiness feeling on just dirty and stuff. So I probably just need to scrub it good with some Dawn dish soap.
Yeah, just with hot water, dish soap, and a sponge.
Yeah, this one here, this gauge here, looks like it's a really good. It looks like it's been replaced once already. And it has the poundage, and then it has temperatures on it, and then it has something else. Another one. I thought print's kind of small on it. Not sure. It's like at the 2.5, at the 7.5 pound mark on the PSI.
I think that's bar.
This other one says
0.5.
0.5, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's bar.
Okay. Anyways, so this is, I need to get this thing cleaned up, and then I can find which one does that need to go in? Trying to figure out.
Look for the little, yeah, you look for the little notch on the lid and the little notch on the pot, and when you rotate it, they line up.
Yeah, this has a little L bracket screwed on and hanging down.
Well, that's just a safety bracket.
Yeah.
It also works great when you take the lid off when you're done. You rotate the lid counterclockwise, lift the lid up, and then rotate it a little bit clockwise, and it'll sit on those little feet just to let the steam out a little slower so you don't start siphoning out of the pot.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is going to be one of my, I almost forgot to put it back in. This has in it.
There you go.
The book for it, so.
Ooh, you need to scan that.
Yeah.
I know a great place you could scan it to.
Rebel Canner's Facebook page?
No.
That's what I was thinking. Good idea. Yes.
Yeah. It'll be, if I remember to take it into Idaho Falls to the UPS store, I can get them to scan it as a PDF there. And then I'll be loading it to your Facebook page, both of my Facebook page, actually all three of my Facebook pages. Come on, there we go.
So here's a trick I taught myself when you're putting those lids on. It says, just equally tighten your turnbuckles. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but if your turnbuckles aren't perfectly straight, it's cockeyed. So I actually found a plastic chopstick that we had in a drawer buried somewhere. The space was almost perfect on the square part of the handle. I just run it around the edge of the lid just to make sure it's pretty square. Or if you're really good at eyeballing it, you just want to make sure the gap between the lid and the pot is pretty close to the same in all directions before you start cranking down your buckles.
And if you're doing a video, make sure you do them opposite as you go.
That's what I'm
which
doing
is what
right
you're supposed
now.
to do anyway. But in one video, I edited it out doing it opposite. And to this day, I still get people complaining that they didn't see me do it opposite.
Yeah. I usually, when I do it, I get my gap right. I flip the knobs over, and I just bring them, opposite. I bring them down till they just touch, and then I'll put them all up, and then I can look and see if I'm still a little bit off. If I'm a little high on one side, I'll actually tighten that buckle a tiny bit more and loosen the opposite side just to get it square.
All right, I got another question on this before I put it away.
You can see it.
Hang on, let me get it so I can zoom in on my question point here. Earthquake time. Okay.
That's the peck. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Tammy knows that is just a vent. So when you flip it down, I've changed all mine. I still kept the old ones, but I put a pin and a weight on it instead of that. It's an 1/8-inch pipe thread. But you leave that open while you're bringing it up to temperature, and then you let it vent 10 minutes. Then you just flip the little knob down. Over time, those springs can get weak.
Yeah,
it's a peacock, and
Yeah.
I actually like those better because they're quiet. It doesn't make the sound of the jiggle. So
Right, and
I
you
actually
I
like
love
that
the
better.
sound of a jiggler.
You just gotta watch your gauge.
Hey,
Because-
I also love the sound of a steam engine too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, so hey, to me it's like it just reminds me of Casey Jones going down the track.
go get one of those plastic kazoo things with the little paper that comes out and stick that on top. So when it gets up to pressure, it just goes. Ring.
All right, there's another thing on here too. So now that I've got turned for that.
Yes, it's your pressure relief button. That's the emergency getaway because you forgot to turn it down. It'll blow out and all your contents will hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
Really
They
fast.
won't.
Good luck.
They won't hit the ceiling.
No, not the lid. Not the lid.
The
Just when the
steam. It
pressure
will just be
relieves.
steam. It should not. You should not have broken a jar before that pops. It
Well,
won't be
no.
any contents. Just some steam.
When he
Unless
said, when he was saying the ceiling, he probably meant the top of inside top.
No,
of
I did not mean the top of the lid. No, don't even go there.
Yeah. You want to see Tama get angry? Just bring up that picture.
Oh, yeah. Look, this is why you don't pressure can. Look at this lid jammed in my ceiling and ripped half my stove bed off. My glass top is smashed. Yeah, whatever, dude.
No, I was thinking you meant that the stuff inside was on the inside of the lid, not the ceiling.
If you like when you're done, when your time is up at your pressure, and I saw one YouTube channel do this a long time ago. They're like, it's done. They pulled the weight off to let the pressure out quick. I'm like, what are you doing? And yeah, when she opened it up, she had a bunch of jars that siphoned out really fast inside. And that's why I'm thinking if that thing drops off, your pressure will drop so quick, you'll siphon stuff out and some of the contents will be coming out with the steam and boiling over and shooting stuff all over your kitchen. Don't do that.
Yeah. Oh.
Plus, that's a really high risk for getting burned. So never, ever touch the jiggler until the pressure, or the peacock, until the pressure has come completely down to zero.
Yeah, totally different than the small Revereware pressure cooker our moms had, where when she's cooking something in it and it's done, she picked the whole pot up and ran cool water over the base of it to drop the pressure down so she could open it and serve dinner. Oh, my mom did that all the time. She cooked meatloaf in a pressure cooker, so let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
do not try what Mark just said at home.
No.
Disclaimer, do not do that.
I don't do it. I never do it. I let my pressure come down.
Yeah. So one of the things I got,
that's for the president. Yeah.
This is the multiple level.
Yeah, the weights.
Yeah. So I got this for if I need less than 10 pounds or less than 15 pounds.
So I took my my All-American weight, has 3 holes in it, going side to front to back, not up and down. And because I always use 10 psi, so there's a hole on the top of where the 10 psi is. I use a piece of cotton twine, and I ran it through there, and I leave it nice and loose. It's tied to my handle, so when I'm storing it, I don't lose the weight, and it doesn't affect the pressure. If it affects it, it affects it 1/10 of a psi with the tiny extra weight on there on the 10-pound mark, on the 10-pound weight. But that way, and then it perfectly wedges between my gauge and the handle, so I can flip my lid over when I store it, and the weight's not dangling down there, and I don't lose parts.
Yeah.
I should actually go grab one. I can show you quick.
Yeah, so that is hanging at 14 and a half and not moving since I made my last adjustment.
Yeah, you could turn it down a tiny bit if you want.
I don't know. When I moved a hair, it started dropping down towards 12. So I figured, hey, it's not that much gas, and it's that, but does it only jiggle? Why not the polka? Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
That's that little plastic dancing hula girl on your dashboard of your truck going down the road, doing the dancey thing the whole time.
All right, Tammy, got a question in here. I don't know if you can see it. From Cast Iron with Honey Badger. It says, are you talking about putting oil on the pressure cooker gasket? If so,
No.
what kind? And so, no, they were talking about the All-American does not have a
no gasket.
gasket at all.
So,
the All-American is a machined bevel that fits tight.
Yeah.
And they were talking about putting oil on that.
The rubber gasket is actually a petroleum type product. Or anyway, never ever put anything on your rubber gasket.
Yeah.
No, the All American does not have a rubber gasket, and so the All American, when you use it for the first time, and to keep it from sticking, you put a thin layer with your finger of vegetable cooking oil on the metal, between the metal of the pan and the metal of the lid.
The metal
So,
mating faces, yeah.
You do not do that with your Presto Muro, Surge, Montgomery Ward, the other styles.
Oh.
If it has a rubber gasket, you do not do that. Only with the ones from All American that do not have a rubber gasket.
Let's see if I can change my
All
camera.
right, sorry, cast iron honey badger. Sorry, I missed that. I didn't the chat. I was scrolling back. I got a very limited view of my chat, and I was scrolling back up, checking things out to see what's. I happened to spot it.
And I'm on the phone, so I can't see the chat at all unless somebody tells me, and I have to go into another screen to see it. So I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm keeping track for all he is. It's all good.
That's why we love to have you here, Mark.
This is what I do. My 10 pound is, you can't really see it on the bottom there.
Yeah.
So, but I put a piece of twine through it, so when I'm not using it,
it
actually wedges right there. It's not super tight, but it's enough to keep it from flopping around and smacking your gauge. Because I store my lid upside down on my canner, so the gauge doesn't get busted off.
Yeah.
So, and this is the mating we're talking about here. Is if you can see right here, there's like a little line there. That's exactly where this thing mates against the other one when you crank it down. So you just need a real thin film of oil there, like one time. And I can feel, Gil was saying he can feel some buildup there. Yeah, I have some buildup there, not much. Just leave it. Once you crank it down, it gets hot. It's not going to leak.
It's like sort of the same principle as seasoning your cast iron.
Yeah. Although aluminum won't rust, which we're good with.
Yeah. It's sort of like putting a hydraulic pump together. We put a special grease on there. As we tighten everything down, it seals up around the gaskets and everything else to seal it so it doesn't leak.
Assembly lube.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't use motor oil on you could. It's not going to get in your food, but I wouldn't use motor oil. You can use mineral oil. You can use olive oil.
Olive oil.
Well,
I'm trying to purge all vegetable oil from both properties.
Well, if you have vegetable oil, I'm not cooking with it. It's just to put on the mating surfaces, and it doesn't get in your food. So
yeah,
I guess maybe heating it will plasticize it and make it difficult to deal with. But
or put off some of the chemicals that are still in it. Put them off as vapors and off the outside seam. You're like,
okay. Just don't breathe any of that diesel exhaust from your tractor, and we're good. Ever. Looks like you're still sitting at like 14.8 psi on your gauge there.
Yeah, and we got what time? It was about quarter after when I put the.
You didn't set a timer when it hit pressure.
Well, I was looking at it. It was 12 after when I noticed and I went and put it on. So I guess it was about 13 after 10. So that will make 90 minutes. We'll make that at. So I have another 30 minutes to go.
Hold on, I'm going back in time here on the live feed and see when your gauge hit, and looks like at 39 minutes into the feed. So 40 minutes into the beginning of the feed. So do the math from there. You started at what, 12 o'clock or 11:30?
11:30 your time, but your clock may be a little bit different than mine.
40 minutes.
It was definitely at least 12 minutes when I noticed, oh, wow, okay. And I started looking at it again, Justin, and then I put it on. So, yeah. If I go a couple minutes over, it ain't going to matter. It's going
over's fine. Under.
Yeah. Better to go over than to go under.
Yeah. So if I run it for another 40, if I run it from now, if I run it 45 minutes from now, that's
Yep.
going to put like 2 minutes over or so. So that's not, that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do a little something else here for you guys while we're waiting for this 45 minutes. I'm going to go take a look at take the this
Hey.
camera here and go look at the indoor garden. So actually, I'm going to need to change some things up here. So hang on. I'm going to need to mute this camera.
Oh, let's see how good the sound quality is on that microphone now.
There, unmute that one.
That sounds
Turn
better.
my speakers up so I can hear you guys talking here. Say something.
That microphone is a whole lot more clear.
All right.
Can you hear me
Say
now?
something again.
How about now? Hello. Testing.
All
1,
right.
2, 12,
Volume
18.
Way up. All right. Okay, so let's go. Oh, so here's my exercise area. I got the Gazelle. I got my new exercise bike. Got the weight bench. Got the treadmill, which the grandkids use all the time. And so that's my new exercise bike. Over here is my indoor garden. Let me turn on the upper light. There we go. And so the grandkids in that tub there, I got all my spray bottles with my different things on it. I also have the one bottle which has, come on, brain work, Dawn dish soap in it for killing the gnats. Well, they decided they were going to spray
Oh, geez.
the black seeded Samson lettuce there. And I got my timers all set up for doing things. I got a heat mat under that one. So there's a heat mat under there. And I got a heat mat under that one as well. And so this one I just planted this morning, has a cucumber in it. This here, if I get it aimed right here, you can see a little green speck right there. That's a tomato coming up.
Cool.
There is a cucumber. I'm waiting for the tomatoes to finish popping through here because they already sprouted, and I put the little hole down in there, dropped this seed with the root in there, and just waiting for it to come up. This one here, this lettuce here, I really had to trim off a lot of stuff when I transplanted it from the Arrow Garden. I waited too long and I lost a lot of roots, but it's starting to come back now. So these are my apricots I brought in so they would survive the winter, and then I'll figure out where I'm going to plant them out there. But here's the grandkids TV for watching certain things. But so let's see, which ones did I do here? I'm looking for the ones. Okay, so these are the two things I planted this time. Let me get around here. Earthquake. So those are the two things this is the one I planted. Where's the tomato I planted? I thought I had it right next to it. I hope the kids didn't get playing over here when I wasn't looking. Is this one open? Maybe what? No. Oh, I know what tomato I planted now. Hang on. Where'd I put it? Shoot. I got sunflower seeds, all sorts of stuff here going on. Got my whoozy thing growing there. Dang. Anyways, there was some cherry tomato seeds is what I planted. Then I put those over here. I have a little plastic envelope that my wife sent me And that's what I planted out of. I got more seeds up here. Nope, not up here. Got this is some of the Grand Rapids lettuce that I harvested this last fall. And then I got this is Swiss chard that my wife harvested, and then rainbow chard that she harvested. I don't know what happened. What I did with that little seed packet. Anyways, yeah. So I got cucumbers, and then I got cherry tomatoes coming up in the three of those there. Three of these here. And when they get bigger, I got big pots out there to bring inside, and I will plant cherry tomatoes in those. This tree here, I'm not sure if I don't know. It may still be surviving. That one there still has greenery, green in the bark when I look at it. But yeah, I may see what I can do. But I'm going to put one of them down here. This one here, tree down here. This thing here, I can't find anything green on it, so I will plant the one cucumber down in here, and I'll hang grow lights up under the table here, and I'll just let the cucumber grow all over the floor. But yeah, so that's what I'm not doing as much as I want to do for the indoor garden this year. But I do have some things starting to go along.
I think the only pepper I'm going to grow this year is going to be jalapenos, because I'm really low on cowboy candy, and I hate buying jalapenos at the store. Even though I got a couple of farm markets around, but I know for a fact that even those guys spray. So
it started going up, had a fluctuation here. There we go.
So I take one of my spare Arlo house cameras, wireless. I put it on a pot next to my gauge, aim the gauge at it so I can watch it on my phone while I'm walking around doing other things and keep an eye on it.
All right, I'm going to switch volumes around here, so hang on a second. There we go. Now I'm back on the other one here. Yeah, I did the adjustment just another hair down again, so.
Yeah, you're a little bit of 15 there.
Yeah. When I did that stuff back in about a year and a half ago, the baked beans and ground beef, it was riding at 15.5 the entire time.
Yeah, can't hurt it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't, once I had it set, I never had to adjust it. It stayed at 15.5, maybe 14.5 to 15.5. And it just did its own thing up and down by itself for that time period. It's like, okay. All right. Looking at the chat here. So free membership with your Medicare Advantage. Planted the YMCA. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a morning person here.
Well, this morning, let's see. I woke up at 3 o'clock. Went back to sleep. Then I woke up at 6:30. Came in here and started pulled the jars out, set them on the counter here. Put water in the one pot. I made sure the water was about, it was only 80 degrees, which is, a little bit high for room temperature. Then I put the jars in there. It immediately dropped down a bit, and I turned the fire on low on that for a while. And then when the jars started getting up to a decent temperature, slowly, then I did put water in the pressure canner and turned it on, got those water temperatures to match, and then I transferred the jars over. Got more steps doing it, from the refrigerator, but yeah. Okay, so she's going to do onion seeds tomorrow. Was going to do still too early for most of the garden plants. Yeah. When my wife comes up here, one of the things I'm going to put pressure on her with a lot of please, we need to do this now, please, 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 is to put in a greenhouse. And if she goes for the Wallapini and we, go ahead and do that, then that'll be a year-round greenhouse out there. And I will put a wood-burning stove in it, a small one, to help heat it, when it gets really cold outside, to keep anything in there from freezing. But we'll also do get the 6-inch flexible drain pipe without the holes in it, and run about 200 feet of it around the yard down about 10 feet. And then that way, we're bringing up, keeping 60 some odd temperature air coming up into it. And if I need to, then I can do the wood burning stove to heat it up a little bit more. Of course, that'll also work great in the summertime for cooling it down when it gets too hot. And you can try to keep it cool in there as well. The pipe, not the stove. I found some stuff on Amazon. I shared the link from the live stream back in October on Patton Family Compound. I think that's where it was, September, October. On Amazon, they got some really thick plastic for doing greenhouses, and they got the heavy duty adhesive tape for making the seams and stuff on there. It's not. I don't want to bring it up on this computer here. Actually, give me a minute to go into the office, and I'll post the link from in there. Oh.
It's like watching water boil. Nobody's talking, just watching the pot boil.
Sorry, I'm doing some research on my computer for someone. I'm supposed to call her between 1 and 2, so I'm not really paying attention to the live.
Oh, you're fine.
I can't see the chat anyway, so.
He's just answering questions and doing stuff. I think I'm going to take my laptop in the kitchen so I can make something to eat because I'm starving watching everybody do all this food stuff.
Okay, so those are the links for the 10 mil tape, the 10 mil tarp, and then this I think 6 or 8 mil on that 6-inch wide tape. But yeah, those are. Yeah, I had a bunch of others saved on my wish list of 6 mil greenhouse, but when I found that 10 mil, it's like, okay, I'm adding that there, and that comes and goes as being available. In the springtime, it's going to disappear because everybody's going to buy it, and then it'll come back midsummer or so, and then it'll disappear in the fall, and it'll come back again, after Thanksgiving. But they'll get it back in stock. But yeah, that's what we want to use to make our wallopini is do a double layer of that 10 mil, so we actually have a buffer area between to help insulate the greenhouse. The thing with the wallopini, if we do it the one way, it'll have a solid wall on the north wall, and then it'll just be the slope side down facing south that'll have the sheeting, the plastic sheeting, the polypropylene sheeting. Okay, temperature gauge still looks like it's sitting. Looks like it dropped back down again a little here, and I haven't touched it. Yeah, it's back down to 14.5, and I didn't touch it. So
I just leave her there. She might settle in right there.
Yeah, I notice it fluctuates just a little bit, but that's perfect for it. Once we get a real natural gas stove in here, then this cooktop here, this indoor-outdoor cooktop, will go out into the shop until summer canning. Then it'll go out underneath the patio cover out here, and we'll can outdoors during the summertime and not heat up the house. Yeah, I could probably run both canners on the stovetop.
Oh, probably.
Because the other pot on here is wider than the this one here is, and if I put it over where it's supposed to be, center it. Yeah, there's a good 3-inch gap between them. I could probably separate them a little bit more, get a 4-inch gap between pots. So, and we are at 25 more minutes to go about. Okay. Let me go check. I got one more thing to check over here just to see if I'm going to get invaded here shortly. My daughter is back from church, so boy's getting changed. They may eat over there, or one or two of the youngest ones may sneak out and come over here. And the first words out of their mouth will be, "Hi, Grandpa." And the next words out of their mouth is, "I'm hungry." And Don Ray B just came in on your side, Tammy.
Oh, welcome. Yeah, those boys, I know all about that. They have hollow legs. They're always hungry.
Yeah, but they don't want to eat what their mother has over there. They'll come over here, and sometimes she'll warn me, and I'll offer the same thing, and they'll eat it over here. I don't know. I guess grandpa's stuff tastes better. And when the staff sergeant gets here, then they'll be eating over a whole bunch. Grammy's food is even better than Grandpa's food. Oh, just a little side note. Come on, brain work. Soda crackers, the name brand, soda crackers, saltines.
Premium cars.
Nabisco.
Premium ones up. Looking at the ingredients in there, it has the about halfway through it's maltodextrin. Why they're adding that to that, I don't know. Probably because it's so refined it tastes sweeter. But I found some of the other store brands and stuff, same thing. I found out that the Winco brand, unfortunately, you guys back there don't have Winco. The Winco brand doesn't have it. Let me grab a box here. Ugh. The Winco brand still has a lot of stuff in it, but it doesn't have the maltodextrin. It starts off with enriched flour, and then in parentheses it says wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, which is actually not something they shouldn't have. And it has soybean oil, citric acid for freshness, salt, contains less than 2% of leavening, baking soda, yeast, malt barley flour, and sodium sulfate. All of which the other ones have, all that, and they have some other crap in there as well, plus the maltodextrin. So at least they when they come over, they kind of like the Winco saltine crackers.
Yeah, I guess the real question is enriched with what? The flour. Enriched flour, that gets them away from having to post other ingredients that another company put in the flour.
Oh, it did. It had the everything in parentheses. That was the wheat flour, the riboflavin, the thiamine. That was that stuff that was in the brackets.
Enriched means they stripped everything out of it, bleached it, took all the bran out of it, bleached it, and then they added vitamins back to replace the vitamins they took when they bleached it and took the bran out.
Yeah. Fake vitamins, petroleum-based vitamins.
Bushcraft, just came in on your side there, Tammy. And I just froze there for a second again. So it took, with preheating the water and preheating the bottles a bit, getting them up to about 118, 120 degrees, it took about 40 minutes. Actually, it was a little bit less because I had to just the heat, the low heat on to heat the water up, but I didn't put the lid on until probably 10 minutes into the live stream. So it took about a half hour to get it up to temperature and venting steam long enough when we put the jiggler on. And now we have 20 minutes to go till we're done. Oh, still can't watch. So let me put that. Still can't watch it on your main account.
Oh no, that's rotten.
And got coming in on your side there, Tammy.
Hi.
Yep.
Yeah, synthetic vitamins. Not as good as real vitamins.
Yeah. The grandkids when it was the soda crackers, one of the things they had learned across the street is putting butter on their soda crackers.
Okay, we have a fight at our house. Which side of the cracker do you butter? Do you butter the plain side or the salted?
The salted side.
Personally, I butter the plain side, and so when it goes in my mouth, the salted side hits my tongue first.
Exactly.
No.
Gil does it right. Mark, you do it wrong.
You're wrong. You're all wrong.
If you butter the salted side, you can't taste the salt.
No, I want to taste
What's
the butter.
Point? Just get
Then
the
why do you have
unsalted kind then.
All right, Mark. If you want to taste the
salt, the salt goes against your tongue, and the butter goes on the roof of your mouth. What is wrong with you people?
Well, that way, then the
Sweet
butter,
and savory.
Yeah, the butter sticks to the roof of your mouth, and then you're tasting butter longer afterwards.
Nah, my tongue, the temperature on my tongue melts the butter, and then the salt gets added to it, so the flavor profile goes way up really fast.
Oh,
but you've already salted the butter. If you're going to do that, Mark, just get unsalted crackers. Save yourself some time.
Oh, no, I like the extra salt and the salted butter.
You like the high blood pressure.
Yes, yes, very much so. It keeps me active.
He's a drug addict. He goes for that hot shot there, boom, like a fresh hit.
No, you have to have the savory salt and the sweet butter. It's sweet and savory that way. You have to have both.
It doesn't matter which side it's on. I always put it with the salt, with the butter to the top. Because otherwise, it gets when I stick it in, it gets on the bottom of my lip, and it's easier just to go up the top.
So here's the other weird thing about this conversation. I literally thought I was the only one who put butter on saltine crackers.
Oh no!
I will go through a half a stick of butter and a sleeve of saltine crackers, just standing in the kitchen going, "Oh, that was good, just one more. Oh, that was good, just one more." And then I look down, I'm like, "Crap! Half the stick of butter is gone," and I went through a whole sleeve of crackers at 3 p.m, and now I'm not hungry for dinner anymore.
Okay.
Oops.
This is where I keep my butter. All right. And I will take this and a sleeve and go sit in front of TV.
That works.
And a paper plate. I'll paper plate out. I'll open up the sleeve of saltines and I'll pull some out on the plate. And I'll sit there. I'll butter a bunch of them up and I'll sit there and pop them for a while. And usually what I'm doing, if the grandkids are over there right next to, can I have one? Can I have one? Can I have one? Can I have one? But I did teach them something different. I taught them about how to slice the big brick of cheese. So you get, for each slice of cheese, you get 4 squares to go on saltine crackers.
Now, see, I won't put American cheese on saltine. That's just gross.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Carnivore
crackers.
Is that like with the cottage cheese, where they make crackers out of just blended cottage cheese and cheese? That sounds good, Mr. Charles.
All right.
Chicken crackers. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Chicken ones. What's that channel? Crap. There's a carnivore channel out of Cooking in Nashville or something like that. Carnivore Cooking in Nashville or something like that. And he had a couple of weeks ago was making chicken pizza dough. You know, making the pizza crust out of chicken stuff.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot, since I've been following him, I'm getting a lot more carnivore and keto alternative stuff for so this is what's left of the 5 pound brick of Tillamook cheese.
See, that's good cheese. That's not processed, Mark. That's actually real good
Yes.
cheese.
This is really good stuff. And you get 3 different ratings on it. You know, the mild, the medium, and the sharp. So, see if I can get this done right. I'm not screwing it up here on camera. Okay, 1 slice. So, 1 slice.
Okay.
And I
That's
cut
a
it.
brick.
That's the brick, and I cut it in quarters. So that's the size of a soda cracker.
Yep, sure is.
And I'll do a stack of these in the soda crackers too. And my youngest son, he'll go through, when he gets on a soda cracker kick, he'll go through 2 sleeves of soda crackers and cut cheese for it, package it up, and take it to work for a snack.
Homemade Lunchables.
Exactly. And after he's killed off the 5 pound brick in a week, then it's like, Mom, when is the next time you're going to Costco? I need to replace the cheese. Speaking of which, since this is that's how much I have left of that brick, I need to go to Costco myself and get another 5 pound brick. Didn't realize how much the grandsons have me cut about 1/2 inch thick slice and then cut it into sticks, and they'll eat the sticks.
And here I am opening up American cheese individual slices.
Oh, sacrilege! Sacrilege! Throw holy oil on him. Not holy water, holy oil.
Yeah, but it's good.
Oil. That's left olive oil.
Sorry, my wife's going to get a talking to when she gets home. I bought 1 croissant yesterday to make a sandwich today. I just pulled it out of the bag. She ripped 2 inches off one end. I'm like, oh, come on.
Another winner on your side there, Tammy. Yeah, so we got about 11 minutes to go before I turn the heat off on this. We are currently holding, looks like we're still holding, walk around to the other side. Yeah, we're still holding, we're down to 14, actually it dropped down to 7, sorry, get my tongue untied here. It dropped down to 13 3/4 pounds.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm good for another 10, 11 minutes. Yeah. So this is my 2nd time pressure canning. And I've got taco meat in here for those who just came in. I did in the here. I used this crock, and I froze there. I used this crock pot, put 10 pounds of ground beef in it. Yeah, I get 10 pound chubs at Sam's Club. Added 2 quarts of beef broth to it and 30 tablespoons, and I should have done 40 tablespoons of the McCormick's taco sauce. This was a full container when I opened it up to do this. So yeah, it's oh, the Bushcraft did the pizza, chicken pizza crust as well. So I don't know when you caught it when you stepped out there, Tammy. Penny Ortiz came in as well.
Welcome, welcome. I had to run get my charger. My phone was dying. So I missed it, but thank you for coming in.
That reminds me, I better hook the power back up to
thank
my.
You for. I want to thank Penny too for her membership on my channel. Thank you, Penny.
Yeah. Yeah, the for those came in, let me show them the other thing here. So back in November of 23, I did 13 pints of baked beans and ground beef. This was my first time pressure canning. So what I think I'm going to do with the next, I got 4 more 10-pound chubs. I think maybe next week I will run the crock pot overnight, cook up make more taco meat like I did this time, can 5 quarts, and then keep the other 2 quarts for the grandkids to snarf on.
I think I got you all beat on that. Hold on. 4 of 18 taco meat.
Well, see, that was my first time though. That was my first time canning.
That was my first time making taco meat, and I still got 3 pints left, and we ate one about a month ago. Still good.
Oh, so Penny went to the. I so want to go there. When my dad's aunt passed away back in the late 70s, we haven't been up there. She was left up near there. We haven't been back up there since. But I so want to go to the Tillamook Cheese Factory.
I am really jealous. I've seen a tour of it. I want to go now so bad. So bad.
Tammy, if you come out to the West Coast, there's 2 tours you got to do. You can hit the Tillamook up in Oregon, then you come down to the San Francisco Bay Area in Fairfield, the Jelly Belly Factory.
Ooh.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I have a place to stay in San Jose. So if I come out, I have to go to San Jose and then go everywhere from there. So.
Well,
that's the diabetes factory, right?
That's the Ronald Reagan factory.
Yeah. The diabetes factory. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, their production just about doubled when Ronald Reagan became president, and he had Jelly Bellies sitting on the desk in the Oval Office.
I'm old enough, I remember that.
Yep.
But we used to take the scout troop up there once a year because we get new scouts in, and the older scouts go, "Are we going to go again this year?" And so we take all the new scouts up there, tell their parents, yeah, you can come along too, but you're going to get bugged. Mom, can I get this? Mom, can I get that? And then, of course, they did have the challenge kits there for the Hogwarts jelly beans. You know, the bar pros, the barf, the earwax, you know, the cow pie, whatever, you know, gross tasting jelly beans.
Somehow I don't think Harry Potter did jelly beans any justice. Just saying.
No.
No.
Earwax, no. Sorry.
So Penny's 55 miles from the Tillamook factory.
If I come out to Tillamook, I will definitely get a hold of you and we'll meet up.
I did the Cabot Cheese Factory in Vermont a bunch of years back with the family. That was fun. Just these giant 400-pound blocks of cheddar cheese sliding down the assembly line into the cutting room. That was cool.
If I go your way, Mark, I'm going to the Hershey factory. Just saying. If I get back to Pennsylvania with nothing else to do, I'm going to the Hershey factory.
Yeah, they don't. The tour isn't in the actual. It's just the old. It's like a museum now with a little roller coaster that goes through, and they give you a little tiny Hershey bar when you're done. I've done it a bunch of times. It's like, okay, whatever.
It just is something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. But
right. My mom toured the Hershey factory when she was young, when they actually let everybody in the mixing room with the women working there, stirring the giant pots of chocolate.
Ooh.
I think that ended in the 70s or 80s. No more tours in there just because there was too much insurance issues going on.
Yeah.
I went through the Kellogg's cereal factory back when you just put on a little hat and a thing and a gown and you walk through.
Yep.
Right next to where they're making it, like you can reach out and touch it.
Oh,
At the
cool.
end, they gave you cereal and a glass of milk to put on your cereal to eat before you left. And there's like a little cafeteria, and you just made your cereal and you sat there and ate it.
All right, so now Des Moines is another place to go to too. They have tours.
I gotta take my dog out. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes and it'll be done. So this is Tammy. This is the other book I got. This is for the cook, the one that's being used right now, and it has on it here. Actually, no, that's not for this one. This is from the Presto cooker that my grandmother had, that my mom put inside of this canner, because something happened to the other one. But this says 1946 on the book here. This was for the Model 60. This is not the Model 60 here. So this is, oh man, yeah. It has a
we lost Mark.
section in the back.
Just take that with you when you're having the other one scanned to a PDF, and you know what to do with it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, a copyright 1946 National Pressure Cooker. Inside.
So the National is actually related to the All-American.
Yeah. But see, this says on it, it says National Presto.
Okay, so that would be Presto then.
Yeah.
I was confused, I guess.
Yeah. In Wisconsin. At least that's what it used to be in 1946. I love this. I love these pictures. I mean,
my gosh, look at that 1940 stove.
That hairstyle is so dated to all the movies I used to watch. Ginger Rogers.
Well, and she's wearing her house dress, her house bra.
But yeah, this is All right.
Sorry, had a touch screen issue there. I touched the screen and closed the window. Oops.
All right. I'm turning the heat off. And now we get
All
to
right,
watch.
pop the top off. Let's go. Just kidding.
Marcus.
Come on.
Mark, I'm a Boy Scout.
Yeah,
Can
me
you
too.
read
Yeah,
between the lines.
I can always read between the lines. Now, this way we can show why you don't do that. That's what I was looking for. This is why you don't pull the gate, the pressure, the jiggler off and open your lid while it's still up to pressure. This can happen to you. Don't let this. Don't be Gil.
Don't do that. Do that when you have jars of water. Well, don't do that ever. But jars of water are a lot cheaper than jars of meat.
Yes.
And if I use the newest batch of ball jars, they'll probably break. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sandy. Yeah. So, poppy seed muffin is your kryptonite, huh? All right, so now we'll see how long it drops here. And yeah, you can see, let me get aim it a little bit differently here, because it is actually, it's dropping already. It's down 12 and a half, and I can see the gauge slowly moving. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the temperature in your kitchen? Like in the 60s or 70s?
68 should be. Let me check the phone. Yeah, 68 on the thermostat.
That won't be too bad. If it's really cold there, it'll drop quick. That's when you got to be careful.
Yeah. I got a fan over there blowing down the hallway from up near the ceiling. And I got another fan blowing air in. So I got a fan. Let me get this here. So I got a fan right there blowing cool air over onto the thermostat, because otherwise the thermostat will never, the furnace will never come on. And up there, I got one blowing the warm air down the hallway to the back bedrooms. So, all right, yeah, now we're down below 12, a hair below 12.
So after it hits 0, give it another few minutes, because you'll still have that little bit of pressure in there. Yeah. That's when I take my weight off and I'll put my finger over the little pinhole. And if it's still pushing on it, okay, I got pressure. If it sucks my finger in, then the temperature is lower, and then you can just let it vent itself out. And
yeah. Well, Gil give himself a facial.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Okay, so it is almost 12 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes to 2 there. Here.
Yeah, 10 minutes to 2, 10 minutes to 12 here. I was just calculating to see if, I'm not sure if she will join us or not, the staff sergeant. I think she's, I'm not sure what time the church rotation changed on the first of the year. I'm not sure what time she's meeting at.
Is she up by you, or is she still down in Cali?
Still in California. Like, she's still working, pulling down 6 figures. So, but she's really getting sick and tired of the BS office crap going on. About ready to say, all right, I'm out of here. And what's so funny, I know, and she knows, that 3 of their largest accounts, when she quits, are going to a different company. The only reason why they're still with the company is her. because she provides them with everything they need, and they can call her at any time, and she can give them the who, what on all their accounts. It's a property management company, and they'll
Right.
call and they, you know. Oh, Tammy, here.
That's all
has
you,
a
Tammy.
brand new one.
Oh, it is not. It is just a tool. It is so safe. I can walk you through it, Penny. I
Yeah.
promise. I would be happy to walk you through it any day. Just let me know when you want to try it, and we'll do something. Even if we just do a run of water, so you get comfortable. Um, I'm more than happy to teach you how to use it. Just like I'm sitting here with Gil, I could do something private and just message me on my email, and I will set something up where I can help you walk right through it. It's not scary, I promise.
Yeah,
Once you've done it, it's not scary.
yeah, this is my
Everybody's
second
scared of the
time
stories they
trying it.
heard.
Yeah, so this is my second time.
Most of those are fake.
Yes, we know.
This one's a little bit different because I had cooked the meat and stuff up last Sunday, jarred it and put it in the refrigerator, and so I had to bring the jars of meat back to room temperature and warm them up a little bit before doing it. That was the only thing different from normal canning, but it wasn't that much of a problem. It worked really easy, and yeah, this just watching the gauge and stuff is is one of the things you got. Once you have the gauge set, it works good.
So Tammy, I put hot food in my jar the other day and put it on the counter, and all the lids went ping. Does that mean it's magically preserved?
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, I know.
No, Mark,
I
it's
just
not.
I like to mess with you on that one.
Unless you were intending to open kettle, then they're magically preserved, but that's only for a very few ingredients.
Yeah.
Individual ingredients, not mixes of things.
I love it when I buy jars in the store in the wintertime, and I carry them out to my car and I put them on the back seat, and I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden the lids are going blink, 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 because the air inside is shrinking up a little bit because it's cold, not hot like in a store. And then I take them home and put them on the floor, and all of a sudden they're going blonk, 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 all popping back up again.
And they do that, and people know they do that, and then they're scared to reuse a lid. Like,
yes,
you don't know how many times that lid is sealed and unsealed itself due to temperature
factory.
changes. It's not any different than using it one more time if it looks perfect. But that's just my personal opinion. What do I know?
So Kaylin's stove shuts off after. It's got to be an electric stove.
Yeah, electric stove, flat top. Yep. Worst thing these days is the new flat top stoves. They all have built-in thermostatic control, so it doesn't overheat the glass. That's why when you turn them on, you're watching the glow turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, and you'll never get up the pressure on the new glass smooth top stoves. They won't do it.
I will never have another glass top ever for any reason. Even if somebody gives it to me free, I won't take it.
Yeah, we had one back in the day with the kids and all that. That was fine.
Take it and sell it on Marketplace.
Well, I kind of find that would not be nice to do, but yeah. I have one that I use at the cabin, but I don't use it for canning because it's worthless. It's a convection top. Yeah.
So, Kaylin, so is it electric or is it gas? You said it's not a flat top, just old. So I have a feeling it's old with a spiral element.
If she's in an apartment, it's probably electric.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have your apartment manager, maintenance person, actually get you a new element for the one that's broken. They're not that expensive. Kui sells them over in Muskegon, Michigan. Kooi. I don't know. I can't spell the whole name, but they actually have them. They're called D elements, and the electric element is shaped like a D instead of the usual shape to help hold heavy pots for water bath canning or pressure canning. they have to replace the element anyway, ask them to get a D element so you can.
Yeah.
Penny's been traumatized. Her mom, she witnessed her mom blow the top of a pressure cooker making stuffed bell peppers. Yep. That'll ruin you for a long time.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the new ones are really they're very safe, and if you have the lid on there correctly, it's not going to be able to pop off.
And that was probably a pressure cooker, the little one that we cooked on the stoves with, not a pressure canner, which has more safeties on it than most things.
Yeah, they're similar, but not exactly alike. If that makes any sense.
Shoot, I was looking for that. Where is it? Temperature's still dropping there.
Yep.
Dang.
It'll take a little. The lower it goes, the longer it takes. That's just how it is. Mine inside with it like 68 degrees with the fan running. Usually, once I'm done at 11 psi, it'll take about almost an hour for it to drop to 0, so I can take the lid off.
All right, so it took. Once I heard that this thing hitting a rolling boil inside of it, it took another 20 minutes to get the steam up to get the pressure and stuff on it. It's been an hour and a half, and now it's been another 15 minutes getting down to, where's it at here?
We're at 2 hours and 27 minutes total. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we're at 8 pounds right now. So if I had watered bath this, it would have been 3.5 hours at a rolling boil.
Now, it would have been a little longer because of your altitude, but not much.
Yeah. 3 hours and 3 hours 45 minutes. And so it's going to take about another 45 minutes, or to get down to where I can open it here. So, yeah. The thing is, with the water bather, I could have brought the big water bath can in, and I could have done twice as many quarts in the water bath.
So you need the tall All-American where you can double stack quarts. Only one time did I ever, it was my 930. I think only once did I triple stack pints. I couldn't get a full row on top because of the concave lid, but I think I still fit like 5 or 6 on the third level. And I had to make sure I had a little extra water in there. So my water level was up to the necks of the jars, which really doesn't matter. The water's not going to go in. And it'll still get up to the same temperature and pressure as everything else in the canner because it's inside.
Oh, all right. I missed the topic here. So a comment, not topic, comment. So Helen found one on the side of the road, and it cleaned up well. Works good. free pressure cooker.
That's the thing about these. They will. The cookers and the canners, they are pretty well. I mean, I have some that my grandmother used. So, like, they're multi-generational use. They last a lifetime, or 2 lifetimes, or 3 lifetimes.
Yeah, most of the gaskets back then, they never changed the size. I think there's 2, maybe 3 different size gaskets out there for the Presto style with the rubber gasket. Mostly only 1 or 2. I think there's a couple you just can't get anymore from really some off-brand ones from back in the 50s where, everybody was hopping on board and had to make their own. And now you just can't get the gaskets anymore. So,
yeah, I thought I have it somewhere. Unless I put it in, put it out in the shop. My wife's pressure cooker she got from her grandmother was the lid would go, it dropped down in. It had a half moon lip on the far side and then locked on the front side.
Yeah, that was all the standard like stovetop pressure cookers, not for canning. They all did the same. Most of them did the same thing. The Revierware did that. It had the big lip, like almost 180 degrees around the far side. You put your lid underneath it, and then when you push down, it seals the gasket, and you rotate it to lock it in under the handle. It has that little metal clip under the handle, and then it just sits there. And then you set your little gauge thing. It just has the weights that lift up and down, the little rotator knob.
Actually, it has a flapper.
Flapper.
One on it. The first time my wife used that,
Get it.
she was 19, and she was at her grandmother's house, and she was doing some potatoes, cooking potatoes, and no one told her she had to wait until it's depressurized and to lift the flapper thing up to lift with a knife to let it depressurize and stuff, and she popped it open.
And shot potatoes all over the stove.
Nope. It popped open. It opened up about 2 inches at her and scalded her arms.
All right, now you're scaring poor Penny again.
But that, like I said, that was the pressure cooker, and no one told her how to use it at all.
Right.
And she'd seen her mom using one, but I have to let it sit. She saw her mom use one. Was told I have to let it sit now to cool down before I can open it.
See, that's where my mom, she would literally, when the potatoes were done, her timer went off. She shut the stove off, left the weight thing, the little flapper weight on there, turned the water on the sink, and then just took the pot over to the sink and ran water over the bottom of the pot. Now, whether or not she buckled it a little bit, who knows? And then it cooled it down. She could pop it right open. So I understand the physics there, but you're also not canning food, so you're just dropping the pressure down. I guess her mom did it that way. She always did it that way, and I never saw a problem with it. But
you can buckle the bottom of your canner.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, that's why you really shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was Revere. It was thick.
Plus,
so
the water you're pouring on there can vaporize into steam and actually burn you too, because it can get the canner itself can heat that water right back up.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Oh. Yeah, 64. I was water bathing blackberry jam with my grandmother in the kitchen on that old. I'll show it. I can't remember what type of stove it is. I would love to have that stove. Pilot lights. You had 3 pilot lights going all the time. Now on the back of the stove, had a little shelf on the back of the stove, and there was a couple little things of bacon grease back there. All right, so we're getting down to 6 pounds.
Man, I'm watching my grass grow in my backyard faster than that gauge is going down.
Yeah, it's at 6 pounds. So it's sitting right on 6 pounds. So
yep, gonna be a few.
It is still very, very hot.
Well, yeah, it's above. If it's above 212 still, because you're at 6 pounds.
Yep.
You probably still hear some noises coming from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the jars are screaming, "Let me out of this prison!"
Almost sounds like something's bubbling in there still. It's almost like a deep bubble. It's like, okay, are the jars trying to vent? Good thing I left, And it did an 1.25 inch headspace on those. I was a little nervous. I did 1.25 inch.
Yeah, Kaylin, that sounds like my kind of stove.
Yeah.
Big Vulcan 10 burner, double oven that fits full size sheet trays, and the shelf over the back so you can keep some stuff up there.
I would love to have gotten one of my grandfather's old catering trucks. It was like a UPS truck today, type thing, well, the step vans, had Wolf stoves in it. One was a 36-inch wide oven with 6 burners on it. The one next to it was a 36-inch wide oven with a griddle on it. Yeah, did a lot of bacon in the mornings on the movie shoots out on location. How many pounds of bacon we'd cook up on that thing. And we had like a number 10 can full of bacon grease when we were done.
Nothing wrong with a can of bacon grease.
Nope.
Get it?
Well, it's funny. A couple times not sure who they were. There's some of the guys from the crew, not the cast. The crew would come over. Hey, you got any bacon grease left over from this morning? And I was out there with my mom during the summer. I worked with my mom during the summer out there, and she goes, "Yeah," and she'd have the sort of like vice grip things in the kitchen to grab different pots and stuff. But she grabbed the can with that, take it over, set it out and back. All right, there it is. You better get some gloves. It's still hot. And we didn't know what they were using it for, but we would do breakfast and lunch for the motion picture shoots unless they paid extra for us to do dinner. And I have a feeling those guys after they were done shooting, were cooking something up. This is out in the on what we used to call them the ranches. Each studio had its own little ranch out in the San Fernando Valley.
We're at 5. I'm slowly dying.
Yeah. This is more nerve-wracking than waiting for it to come up.
That's why pressure canning is not a quick thing to do.
And that's where people make mistakes. They try to shortcut the time.
No, and then they'll be like, well, I don't have time for this. And they'll just leave it overnight, come out in the morning, it's done. They pull it out, and then Tammy knows that's when they call it flat sour. Your food actually gets funky because it stayed in there way too long.
That usually happens more with water bath, though, than with pressure canning. It's typically a water bath problem more than a pressure canning problem.
Yeah. My wife tried using this. This is a cooker canner. She used this on the stovetop here once on this glass top stove. The next time she went to use it up here, she had me set up the Camp Chef 2-burner cooking thing out back, and she cooked outside. And she said it was much better, control cooking out there than it was on this glass top stove here. Of course, the Camp Chef has the big knobs. It has the big monster knobs. Get my hand right. Big knobs on it. So when you move it just a little bit, it's really a little bit. And that's like on this one here. This thing, the knobs on this thing here are so friggin' small. It's like, I gotta get on. I gotta get on there and hold my hand tight to the stovetop and get the thing just a hair. But when I'm going to do this, when I'm not doing this live, what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to like if I'm working back on my computer and back, I think I'm just going to run the cable back there with the little my fire here watching the gauge, and that way I can watch it from back in my computer office while I'm working on my novels or whatever else I'm doing back there. And I can watch the gauge from back there.
And that's what I do with my extra Arlo cam. I just put a pot next to it on the stove and aim it at it, and of course the motion detector goes off constantly because of the jiggle, but I can sit there and stare at it.
Outdoor cook stoves have their own problem.
That's a Tammy question there. I could answer it, but Tammy's better at it.
Well, I just know from just regular cooking at scout camp.
Yeah, well, no, you don't want to do it on a turkey fryer. That's
no,
not good.
No, I'm not talking turkey fryer. I'm talking the camp chef stoves like we've used this
even those your BTUs are excessive, and you could, you got to be real careful with those stoves.
But the problem I find is once you have temperature set, the wind becomes a problem.
It's not it's the wind. It's not that. It's the bringing it up to temperature. It can be much too fast, and you could start venting your 10 minutes before the contents of your jars have reached temperature to equalize it yet, because the BTUs are so high. So sure, you can do it. You just gotta be really diligent and slow about it. You can't hurry it up. You just can't make it go faster.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but it's not safer. It's just a lot harder to do it outside. It'd be a lot easier for you to do it inside, where you don't have the wind, where you know your stove is the right BTUs for cooking on those appliances. It's just a lot we'd have to discuss to see. But for the first time, probably inside would actually be safer because it's a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new stuff said, what's her name? Tammy just said some of the newer stoves don't work as well. Yeah, that's because most of your newer stoves you're thinking of are either flat glass flat tops or even electric, and there's so many more safeties built into them now. It won't let you get above a certain temperature of the coil, which can hinder bringing your pot up to pressure. Then you got to get modifications done. I have a gas stove, natural gas in my kitchen. And I mounted my hood high enough so I could fit my 930 under there and still have space to spare. And there's that. There's just a lot of mini things there. Most of it's for home safety for people with the new stoves. They don't want you forgetting about something and melting your aluminum pot into the stove. And yes, I have actually seen that on an electric burner, but a long time ago. But that's just the aluminum crappy frying pan thing that somebody forgot about and almost burned their house down because they walked away. Don't walk away.
Yeah. So one of the things that
Tammy, you're on mute still.
I have to go. I promised someone I would call her between 1 and 2, and it's already a quarter after, and I'm sure she's very anxious. I apologize, but
we'll be here.
Got to keep my word. So I got to go.
We'll be here. We're still on. Come on back.
Yeah. One of the things that my wife wants to do with this kitchen here, and okay, she's frozen that, so let me go ahead and just drop her down that way till it actually goes away. So this kitchen here, my wife wants to, sometime after she's up here, get a contractor in here and rip out all these cabinets and get cabinets put in the way she wants. And so let me move around here. So up there.
The dust collector.
dust collector exactly. And so the cabinet would go. We would. I mean, for this stove, it's very. It would be very hard to use. It was very hard for her to use that pressure cooker on that stove. So that hood and everything it would go up. In fact, we just might eliminate the cabinets above the hood and just raise the hood up higher. That's one of the things we talked about. The other thing is on this side here, you can see there's no cabinets from that cabinet to the doorway here. We may put the stove over there somewhere, or put the stove on this side here, which is easy for me to plumb gas over this side from below. So, but yeah, one of the things we do, because all the lighting we have are these little ones with, we put 100-watt fluorescents in, not fluorescents. They had fluorescents in it. We put LEDs in there to get this to light up right. I put a 4-foot shop light up on top and wired it in. And over there, up on top, I got 2 4-foot shop lights up there. Usually, that's all I use in here because that is cheaper than the other ones, and it provides better light. And so, yeah, and we are down to a hair under 3, just a hair under 3.
Another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your ceiling in your kitchen is not flat; it's angled.
It's vaulted, yeah.
Yeah, so that's its own. I have a flat ceiling in mine, and yes, there's a big space above it. My last kitchen in my last house, it was a vaulted ceiling between 2 rooms, so the stove wall actually had like 4 feet above it. I actually built soffit boxes to put over the cabinets just to keep the dust out from getting down there, because then it would come down between the cabinets because there's always airspace in there. I would always have little dust bunnies on the countertop where I'm cooking food because it was coming down between the cabinets. Yeah. So I just built soffit boxes over that and put my outdoor vent in. And
all right, so on this one here, I'm going to do this on the other one here. So there's the knob for it, and so I started, and you can see how big that is. Where I was canning at, I'm turning it down because I was here. I'm turning it down, and let's get on the flame. I have the flame down to right about there.
Yep.
Right there, like that. And that's all the way down there on that knob. And that's where it was for the when I was maintaining.
Once you were up to pressure, yeah.
Yeah. When I was taking it up to pressure, I had it up over here to the low, which is still pretty good because I didn't want to heat it too fast.
No.
And so,
and then once they get up to pressure, it's getting it up to pressure, which takes a little bit. Once it gets there, it doesn't take much heat to keep it at pressure. So that's where your stove just goes lower, and you just got to watch it and play with it a little bit, move it up and down a pound or 2 until it stabilizes. And even then, you got to keep checking it. So grab yourself a chair, Penny, and sit in the kitchen there, read a book, look some recipes up, and just keep looking over at it and making sure your gauge stays where it is. But Tammy will do that with you in person. She's good like that.
One of the things we may do when we redo this kitchen, because there's, all right, so originally the stove was over here on this wall here, and there was another cabinet going down here, a deep cabinet like these monstrosities here. And we had the problem with the water leak. I had to take out the floor here, and so I took that cabinet out so I could get the particle board flooring out, the plywood down. We just put one of those wire rack shelves here, and I didn't want the refrigerator over here, and so I moved the refrigerator over to where the other refrigerator was, next to the door going out. And then I put the chest freezer over there in that open space. there's a lot of open space in here. There's no
Yep.
cabinets above there. We'll be putting cabinets up there. And these other cabinets here, we'll get new ones. There'll be more space between the countertop and the bottom of the cabinet, and the cabinets will sit up higher and may go all the way up to the ceiling. But and so we got, we'll have to figure out what design is going to work best for the kitchen for us, and we're down to 2 pounds. And we're going to redesign this kitchen so it's more ergonomic for both of us than it currently is. But this kitchen here, as it is a lot better than the kitchen we have in the house in California, that house was built in 1932, and it's a galley kitchen.
Ugh.
A narrow galley kitchen.
See, I miss my cabinets in my old house because the upper cabinets were 14-inch, not 12.
Yeah.
And we moved into this house. They had brand new cabinets, and they're all 12s. My wife hates them. So do I. Because, the Corel dinner plates, the door barely shuts before it touches the edge of the plates. The other place we had was great. And you have to custom order 14-inch cabinets, and the price is like double.
Yeah.
So I told the wife, I said, we build the other house. I said, we'll just put regular cabinets in, cheap ones. I got the wood shop. I said, I'll just build all new cabinets. It doesn't bother me. I'd rather build them myself the way I like it. Yeah. I've modified these with slide outs and stuff just because the bottom cabinets, you can never get to what's in the back. So I created like a big drawer unit in the bottom of my island cabinet with full extension sliders that mount on the underneath, not on the sides. So I can slide those suckers all the way out, and she can get to all her glassware, all the stuff we use, and then push it back in and shut the door.
Well, right now, let me back off so I can show you the counter here, the island. So that's the island.
Yeah.
And what we will do is, because it's to the point where the boys are getting too big for that, even the youngest one. So we'll make it about the same size as the bottom one, but up at the top of that one, and then we'll have doors on both sides.
Yep.
And it'll be pass through, so you can get the stuff from either side. And there we go. And it'll do that. So we're down to 1 3/4.
Yep.
But yeah,
when it hits 0, give it another 5 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully, a 42-inch. I was frozen again. I found out my laptop does not have as good video card as the Kindle Fire does. That thing has that one has not frozen. This one frozen. The only reason why it is lagging on the Kindles because it's just because the way the long cable going back into the other thing trying to sync up to the other computer that it's hooked up to. So it's hooked up to a different computer, and it's just using this as a camera for the other computer.
Oh, that's how you did that. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, anyways, and if I go Wi-Fi on this one, use the Wi-Fi, it really lags on the Kindle. But yeah, it's we want to get a 42-inch stove instead of a 30-inch stove, and it has a griddle on it and 6 burners. Yeah, it'll have what is it, 12-inch wide griddle or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a 12 or 14-inch wide griddle, and then some of the Vulcans or the Crowns or whatever, the burner for your griddle is actually a broiler slide out underneath that, so you can broil like things in there, even though you're heating up your flat top. It depends on which model. I always wanted one, but now I'm like, I don't use a flat top enough, so I'd really rather just have the open burners.
Yeah, the we were looking at, one of the things we were looking at was we were looking between the Vulcan, not the Vulcan, the Viking and the Wolf. And the Wolf stove is what, my grandfather had in all his stuff, and his brothers had the Wolf,
Do some
everyone down there in Southern
research on
California
each one now. Do
Yeah.
some research on all of them now, because a lot of them, like Wolf stoves, used to be made in Wisconsin or Illinois or somewhere. Now, no, they're all made in China. So you got to look for anything that still might be made in America, or an older one that was made in America you can still get parts for.
Yeah. Or find one of the older ones at an old restaurant that's going out of business.
Yeah, well, then you got to worry about worn out hinges and stuff. And
yeah. But we don't do the oven that much. Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday cakes, everything is pretty much stovetop. Occasionally, when my wife does a casserole, she's actually done it more in the microwave. Got everything ready and did it in the microwave. Just to finish it off and stuff. But a nice big 6-burner stove with a big pots going on it, because we know we want to do a lot of canning. And, so that's one of the things we're looking at possibly putting in here. But it's going to be a nice work thing. All right, Shadow, take care.
Later, Shadow. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Almost at 0.
Yeah. The cabinets here they're a white pine that has been stained. So it's not a fir, it's a white pine. A white pine, a good white pine is a hard wood. But it's not an oak, and it's not anything else like that. But it's a lot lighter color, which my wife liked better than the doors on the one in California. But she likes the lighter color. She was thinking about going with an ash maybe. But we'll have to see what it is, and we'll have a cabinet company come in and build them. Yeah, the ones in California were so dark. I mean, she painted them with a antique white stain, and painted it and did the wipe off treatment. So it looked, it gave it really the antique look on it. But yeah.
The only thing I don't like about the cabinets these days versus the good old days is the only thing that's hardwood is the front frame and the door, and maybe the side, but usually the sides are still particle board with that contact paper crap on there.
Yeah.
And they get damp inside, and the shelves will swell because they're not wood.
Yeah. I was watching a video when I was first had this going up this morning, when it was just warming the jars up from the refrigerator, bringing up the room temperature and a little above. It was an RV, and the guy was going through the RV. He goes, "We use real solid wood cabinets. It's not particle boards. The front is solid wood. The sides are plywood. They are plywood, but it's an oak veneer plywood, not a Yeah,
that's what I use when I make stuff. I will use high grade, 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. Basically, it's cabinet grade hardware. It's AB. Yeah. So the A side is beautiful. The B might have a couple little dots on it here and there from knots and things in the veneer, but it's solid and it doesn't flex or warp, and not like that. The particle board, which is what everybody uses, because They just use particle board. It's cheap.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The shelves in here are particle board. On this cabinet over here, it's not showing too much where I am, but I put a 3/4 inch shelf in here for all the Corel to go on. And one of the other cabinets, I cut a shelf for it as well that has heavier stuff on it, and the cans of tuna and cans of chicken and stuff. And so I put 3/4 inch plywood in there for those. But yeah, when this goes out, we're getting 3/4 inch plywood shelves with the 1/4 inch veneer on the front of it.
Yeah, well, it's not even 1/4 inch. I have a roll of that. My dad showed me how to use that. It's it's basically like a tape.
Yeah,
but it's not a tape. It's like 3/4 inches wide, and you use your heat gun or your heat iron.
Yeah,
and it glues it on, and you trim off the extra little lip on either edge.
We're gonna get the 3/4 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick flat stock wood, and it gets glued. They glue it, and then they brad it on.
Oh, I have an idea. I'm gonna take you upstairs in my old daughter's room and show you my built-in closet desk I made years ago.
Okay, answer the question here. Where'd it go? The chest freezer. Okay. No, we will keep a chest freezer in here, and just put cabinets above it, because we don't want to have to go out into the shop to get stuff out of the chest freezer. There is a chest freezer out there already, but we want to keep the most of the stuff we use the most of in here, and the one out there will be a staging to refill this one in here, and then we go buy new stuff for the part of the rotation. So we stock the one out there, move stuff from there into here, use the stuff from in here, and the freezer above the refrigerator is small stuff. But like the boxes of pizza go in that chest freezer. The hot pockets for Eli go in the chest freezer. The frozen hamburger patties go in the chest freezer. But mostly it's vegetables in this one here. Let's see here. Yeah, the ones my daughter had in the bathroom over there across the street was particle board, and yeah, they had to replace it, and they put in a wire shelf rack system in there. All right, Penny, take care. Gonna get some more water. Yeah, it's I can still hear something bubbling in there.
Yep, you're almost there.
And it's sitting all right, it's sitting on the peg, but the peg everything just a little wacko there.
Yeah, I think that was me.
I mean, but just then again, they still kept doing it. Maybe having problems with the internet company.
Well, so I built this for my daughter years ago, and I made custom little slide outs, which stick now, for putting her desk down.
Right.
And then, but all the drawers I did are full extension. They're all 1/2 inch plywood, and the veneer I'm talking about I put on the edge here. It's a little dark,
Right.
but yeah, you just use a heat iron, and once it's on there, you just shave off the edges that overhang it a little bit. But I don't know if I'm going to take this with us when we move. I might, or I might leave it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But that was a fun one to get up 2 flights of stairs to put in.
2 flights of stairs, that kind of dictates leaving it.
Yeah, but I probably got about 40 hours into that thing.
Yeah.
And it fits perfect in the closet. Unfortunately, you lose the closet space. She had a little space on either side to hang stuff, but she didn't have much to hang, so
Yeah.
everything went in the drawers.
Mm. Oh. Get out of the way.
Actually, pee.
Sandy, cold weather outdoors. The cold doesn't really affect the freezers as much as the heat would, but it's the moisture. Don't have any place outside to put it outside. That's why we got the other one in the shop. But the cold temperature out in the shop, all it does is sometimes it's colder outside the freezer than it is inside the freezer. We ain't running for several hours or for a day or two. But also sometimes in the summertime, it's a lot hotter in the shop than it is in here. Of course, once I finish getting the walls insulated and getting the OBS up on the ceiling, and I get 12 inches of blown in insulation out there, then it'll be a different story. As far as the heat and cold differential goes. Let's see. You don't hear any noise when I tap the jiggler, but I can still hear bubbling inside. So.
Oh, you're probably going to still hear some bubbling.
Yeah.
I mean, if you gently lift off the weight a little bit, if you still hear air hissing out, then just put it back on. You're not going to hurt anything for a second or two.
No, I don't hear anything.
All right, take it off. Take it off, put it on the counter. Just let it sit for a minute.
Okay, it's balanced. So I put a little spittle on top there, and it bubbled up a little bit and then went flat and stayed.
Yep. So you can, if you want, at this point, you can just slowly rotate the lid, but don't lift it off. Just rotate the lid. And that way it'll break the seal on the rubber gasket and let a little more air circulate to cool it.
Oh, damn.
There you go. Just to the unlock. Yeah, just till it unlocks and just let it sit for a minute.
There's the unlock, yeah.
Yep, just let it sit for a minute.
That's one thing I like about the All-American is that once you undo the screw things on it, you're not having to try to. And there I froze again.
Yep. My dog has a squirrel treed in a tree in the middle of the yard, and the squirrel has no place to go. Oh, too late. It jumped. Oh, well. Not moving yet there, Mother. We will be building out at my property here. We were going to start early this year, but it may either turn into late this year or early next year.
All right.
Yeah, you're probably good to take the lid off. When you lift the lid straight up and tip it away from you to let the steam not get you in the face. And just hold it there for a few seconds. You'll start to hear things happening again inside the canner as the temperature drops pretty quick.
Well, before I do that, I'm going to start setting some stuff up here. Some towels out, so when I do put bring them over here, I have some place to put them. There we go.
There you go.
And I'll set it over there. Let's see what this thing here does. Is that all the way? No, there it goes.
Yep. Tip it away from you. Tip it towards the screen so the steam blows away. You might want to put.
Yeah, I just lifted this as steam came out the side here, and I got a whiff of taco seasoning.
Yeah, well, that you got some siphoning. That always happens. There you go.
This over here on the sink here.
Yep.
Let's see.
You got your little jar grabbers?
Yeah, I got it. Got them. I'm just looking here. Interesting. Now let me move the camera inside so I can over here so we look at it. So.
You get staining on the lids. Yep, that's normal.
And there seems to be a little bit of discoloration in the water.
That's probably because of there's multiple reasons, but venting time is important for that, because if you don't vent it long enough and to equalize the temperatures inside of the jar and outside in the environment, what's inside the jars has a lower pressure, and then when it comes up to pressure, it goes above what's outside and can just spit a little stuff out. You'll be fine. That happens.
All right, the jars are still bubbling inside.
Yep, that's fine. They're going to do that for about 20 minutes.
There's a film of
scale
beef fat.
Yep.
On the
how full did you fill your jars?
Hang on, let me go grab it here.
Well, we're going to find out when you pull them out and see how full they are.
So,
can't go by that. You got to go by like when the jar. Did you fill your jars cold or hot? Initially,
they were
warm.
Warm.
Okay. Because you need to measure from the top lip of the jar down to the surface of the food. That should have been your 1-inch headspace.
Yeah.
Which you can't always go by the funnel depending on which jar it is. And
well, see, these are wide mouths. This is a funnel 4-in-1, so basically it sat a little bit deeper.
Right.
But I made sure there was gap, but there was gap below. There was a gap below it.
It happens.
So
anyway, so pull a couple. What I do is I use my tongs to pull it out, but I have a towel in the other hand to wipe off the bottom of the jar before I put it down on the other towel. That way it does, because if that little bit of grease and stuff, the jars, when they cool off, will stick to the towel.
I get another towel out here. All right, so here, so I don't bump anything.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's
grease on it.
There's the ring of grease.
Yep. You're fine. You're gonna have to take the rings off and wash them when they're cooled down tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, but I want to get everything off of here.
Yeah.
Okay. The top of the liquid is below the glass lip.
Yeah. You're probably fine. When that stuff heated up, though, it expands.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to leave a 1-inch headspace, because when it gets hotter and hotter, it expands up, and that's when you can get some siphoning. Now, high grease content, you're always going to get some grease siphoning, but the 99% lid will seal after it cools down, and you won't have any issues. You just got to make sure tomorrow when you wash your jars in warm soap, wash just under that lip of that lid to make sure you get all the grease and crud out, or it could start to smell in your pantry over the next couple months. And don't worry about all those air pockets in there. That happens. That's normal.
Yeah. Well, it's got a lot of liquid in there, so.
Yep. It'll harden. Well, you've done it before. It'll harden up like paste when it's cold.
Yeah.
How many did you have in there? Just 4? That's it?
5. I got one
5.
more to go. Doesn't look like it had more grease around it. Yeah, had more grease. Had more grease around it, so I was wiping to make sure I get all the grease off of it.
Okay. You're gonna have to clean it off tomorrow anyway.
Yeah. Well, if the grease is hot now and comes off easier, what's left, what residue is left tomorrow will be easier than having thick gunk.
Yep, little warm soapy water. Everybody's afraid to use hot water when they wash their jars. They don't want the lids to pop. You're not going to pop the lid. You're not heating it up that much with some hot water on the outside to make it expand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just let that thing sit there for a while before you dump it down the drain. That hot water could do damage to your PVC trap.
Well, yeah. Well, the way amount of hot water goes down around here, anyways, it's ABS, not PVC, but still. It's,
and there you go.
Yeah.
Not including prep time, but the minute you started the video feed, you're at 3 hours and 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, when you do that, you'll probably see like boiling going on inside the jars for a little bit.
Yeah, I got on some of these here. I'm going to bring the camera around so you can see it.
Yeah, that's normal because there's a vacuum inside there, and water boils in a vacuum at a much higher temperature, whatever.
That's inside the pot there. Let me walk around to the other side there. Under all the cables and stuff.
Now it's even more fun when you do broth, like beef broth, chicken broth. That stuff will sit on your counter and boil, and you'll actually hear the lid popping up and down for up to 20 minutes. It's kind of weird when the first time it does it, but then you get used to it and realize that's normal.
Okay, I'm trying to get an angle here. Oh, this one here is bubbling a lot here.
Yep. There it is.
And so, yeah. Yeah, so the orange circles are globs, are circles of grease floating in there.
Yep. As soon as it cools down, wash that pot out.
Yeah.
Did you put a little bit of vinegar in your water before you did that?
No, because everyone was saying don't.
Well, it depends on how hard your water is. Because I have a water softener, but I always throw like just a teaspoon of white vinegar in there. That's just enough. Now, if too much vinegar, you'll start to get that weird staining on your flats, on your lids.
Yeah.
But other than that, it doesn't hurt anything. It just keeps the. I pulled jars out that they're absolutely blank white, like chalky white, because there's so much scale on there.
Yeah.
The vinegar helps alleviate that. That's all it does. It doesn't help the curing process or the canning or the boiling point. It's easier to clean the scale off of it or not deposit.
Yeah. Okay. Moving these back over here closer.
Yep. Do that. Throw a towel over it and see you tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, that one there is. I wish I could get this to zoom, but it won't zoom. But yeah, you can see the bubbles there.
Oh yeah.
Coloring going. So. All right.
In about 10 minutes or so, you'll start hearing the lids pop down.
Yeah. wrap this up here
Good job, man. Good job.
and pull this one up over. There we go. Well wrapped. Got some on the side here, so it's yeah. That's one of the things we I even with when we're doing the so when doing the there I am. When doing the blackberry jam when I was little, yeah, as soon as we wiped them, then we had towels. We just dumped towels on them. We had a couple times, even in the hot summer, jars crack. And my grandmother said that's because we didn't cover them up fast enough.
Yep.
But everything here seems to be doing pretty good. So, of course, I think those were the mayonnaise jars we were using.
Yeah.
Hey.
That got beat to death in transit getting to the store, and it was cheap glass anyway. Yeah.
There went a ping.
I heard it.
And yeah, so we recycle a lot of stuff. The mayonnaise jars we use would only be used for the jams and jellies, and the canning jars would be used for other things, water bathing the chicken or whatever else we did. So, Phil B, me too. Yeah, hey, no problem. Absolutely interested in helping everybody. Like I said, this is my second time doing this, and second time where I didn't have a boof accident. So I'm batting 1,000.
Sweet.
But yeah, we'll have to see how everything goes here. And tomorrow, I may just do some recording in here as I clean them up and stuff, and not go live. But I'll post it here on Gray Man Prepping. So yeah, this is feel a lot better having you and Tammy in here for most of it.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's for me. It's Sunday. I just got stuff in the freeze dryer. I don't have to do anything about that. It's just running, and I'm done cooking for the weekend. I'm just letting some salmon thaw out for dinner for me and the wife, and
well,
maybe I got to do laundry still, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I got to do laundry too. The second one just popped, so yeah. Hey, Keepy Heathen, how's it going? Yeah, so yeah, this is doing pretty good. Let that cool down there for a while longer. Let the aroma of from the pot there, make the house smell better, and add a little more steam, humidity to the house.
The grandkids are going to come over and be like, "Can you open one now?" It's like, no, I just spent 3 hours canning this. I'm not opening it.
It's like, well, I got some in the fridge here. I can heat up in the microwave for you.
Yeah, those two may never make it to the canner.
That too. I got that too. Yeah, I got those two there. Plus, I got the other ones in the Pyrex snap type containers that I pulled out.
You do have to recall some food safety here. You did cook that last Sunday. So hold on a second. My neighbor's idiot kids ride his motorcycle around again.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 7 days of cooked food in the fridge, even though it's in a jar. So you're kind of pushing the envelope on time safety there for food.
Yeah. So I may as soon as I get this clean, I may go ahead and can those other 2 jars and do 3 jars of broth and get those done this afternoon. That way
that sounds like a good plan. Oh, here he comes again. Yeah. Sooner or later, the sheriff's department's going to show up here and arrest him and his dad.
Yeah.
And it may be sooner than later.
Wait a minute. Did I miss Sumi in here?
Yes.
Sumi's in here. Yeah. Hey, Sumi. Sorry, I missed you. On this laptop, I can only see 4 comments at a time. And if I'm looking away or moving around and several people comment, I miss comments. So
Yeah, Sumi's been in for a little bit here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I'm noticing that now. Yeah. So what I have noticed in making this, per pound of hamburger, and let me pull it over here again. For the McCormick's here, it says 3 tablespoons. From now on, I'm going to be using 4 tablespoons per pound. It just tastes better. It gives it a little bit more flavor. Now, I know if Eli ever decides he likes the taco meat, I'm going to have to change one of the batches up for him. Quesadilla, he likes the Tabasco's chipotle sauce sprinkled on it inside the quesadilla. He likes hot sauce. So if I do so, if he gets what he likes this, I'm gonna have to do a batch with the Tabasco in it. And if he really likes it, then yeah, well, Oliver and Danny won't mind it too much. Aiden's is the weenie when it comes to hot sauce, hot spicy food, but he's slowly learning to like some stuff, some taco meats and some the toquitos, the little toquitos and stuff. He goes, it's spicy, but I like it. Yeah, now. Whereas before he didn't even like eating it. So, all right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here now. And I want to thank everybody for coming in and sharing this experience. And if you have any questions, you can email either me at, hang on, where is it? It's in the bottom of the description of the video. But, I use the same email for both channels, Camp Pat and Family Compound. Or you can email Tammy at rebelcanners at gmail.com. All right. So everyone, thanks for coming in, and have a good rest of your Sunday.
have a good one.
In stream.